Hello, everyone, and welcome. Have you ever heard someone say a short, wise phrase, and you weren't sure what it meant? In English, these phrases are often called proverbs. Proverbs are simple, memorable sayings that share advice or life lessons, and they are used in many countries and cultures around the world. Learning English proverbs will help you understand conversations better, and you'll sound more like a native speaker when you use them. Today, let's learn about two very common and useful English proverbs. Look before you leap, and where there's a will, there's a way. Let's start with the first one. Look before you leap. Let's break down the meaning of each word. The word look means to see or to check something with your eyes. Before means earlier in time, before something happens. And leap means to jump, usually a big or sudden jump. So, if we put the words together, look before you leap literally means to look and see what's ahead before you jump. But as a proverb, this phrase isn't really about jumping, it's about making decisions. Look before you leap means you should think carefully and check for danger or problems before you take action. It's a warning to be careful and not to act too quickly. Imagine you are walking in the woods and you see a small river. You want to jump to the other side, but before you do, you look closely and see that the ground on the other side is wet and slippery. If you jump without looking, you might fall. But if you look first, you might decide to find a safer place to cross. In life, the same rule applies. Before you make a big decision, stop and think about the consequences. Let's look at an example. Imagine you want to buy a new phone. You see one online that looks very nice, and it's very cheap. You are excited and you want to buy it right away. But look before you leap means you should stop and check before you buy. Is the phone from a good brand? Are there reviews from other people who bought it? Is the website safe? If you don't check, you might waste your money on a broken or fake phone. So this proverb teaches us to be patient and to think before we act. It's always better to plan ahead than to rush into something and regret it later. Now, let's move on to the second proverb. Where there's a will, there's a way. This proverb is full of hope and encouragement. First, let's understand the words. In this phrase, will means a strong desire or determination to do something. It's not the same as will for the future tense. Here, it means having a strong mind or heart to achieve something. The word way means a path or a method. So, where there's a will, there's a way means that if you really want to do something and you are determined, you will find a way to do it, even if it seems very difficult. Let's use an example. Imagine you want to learn English. At first, it feels very hard. Maybe you don't have a lot of time. Maybe there are no English classes near your home. But you have a strong will. You are determined to learn. You decide to practice every day, even if it's only for 15 minutes. You watch videos online. You listen to songs in English, and you try to speak with friends. Because you have the will, you find a way. Even though it's difficult, you don't give up. This proverb tells us that determination helps us succeed. If you really want something, you will find a solution, even if the path is not easy. Both of these proverbs can help you in everyday life. Look before you leap is a reminder to think before you act, and where there's a will, there's a way is encouragement to never give up. Let's review. First, look before you leap means to be careful and plan ahead. Before you make a big decision, stop and consider the risks. Ask questions, do some research, and try to find out as much information as you can. This will help you avoid making mistakes or getting into trouble. Second, where there's a will, there's a way means that if you are determined, you can overcome any challenge. No matter how hard something seems, if you really want it and you keep trying, you will find a way to reach your goal. This proverb inspires us to stay hopeful and strong, even when things get tough. Now let's practice using these proverbs in real-life situations. I will describe a situation, and you can try to guess which proverb fits best. Scenario 1. Your friend wants to buy a new car. She finds a car that looks perfect and is very cheap, but she hasn't checked if it has any problems or if the seller is honest. What should she do? That's right, she should look before she leaps. She should check the car carefully, read reviews, and maybe ask a mechanic to look at it before she buys. Scenario 2. A student has to study for a very difficult exam. He is worried that he won't pass, but he wants to do his best. He studies a little bit every day, even when he feels tired. He keeps going because he really wants to succeed. Which proverb matches this situation? Yes. Where there's a will, there's a way. Because he is determined and keeps trying, he will find a way to succeed. You did a great job. Learning proverbs is a fun and practical way to improve your English. The more you practice, the better you will understand how to use them in conversations. Remember, be careful and think before you act, and never give up on your goals. With patience, planning, and determination, you can do anything you set your mind to. Thank you so much for joining me today. Keep practicing, and you will get better every day. See you next time.